forward to being stuck at home. I just want to eat all the time, you know?
Good
Hi,
morning,
sorry.
good afternoon.
Hi, sorry.
Okay. Ms. McGrath, before we get started, I want to let you know that I am recording this for education purposes. I am in a college class and I may use some of this footage for one of my assignments.
Okay. I didn't
Just to let
fix
you
my
know.
hair today.
It's okay. You look beautiful.
That's fine. Thank you for letting me know.
No problem. I'm also going to say the date and the time right now. Okay. So today is April 23rd, 2020, and the time is 2:33 p.m. Okay. Okay. So the first thing I want to talk about is how's online training going? How's it going online?
Learning. I'm learning. I've got some awesome kids that have done amazing work. And, you know, for some, there's so many silver linings because they're getting more intimate attention from families. And, you know, I think there's a lot of kids who are going to do actually really well. And of course, you know, depends how much home backing they have. So I make myself personally available all morning. So I think it's going okay. I'm learning. So that's good.
Miss Wise, you just jumped in. I'm just going to let you know that I'm recording this for educational purposes. So I may use some of this footage for assignment that I have in the future. Okay. I just want to get your okay. I don't want you to be like, oh, don't record me. I can't hear you.
You have my permission. My internet on my computer crashed on me right before this meeting, so I'm trying to do this from my phone.
Oh. Ms. McGrath, do you have any like pros and cons about online learning?
Well, I will say that my kids are doing great. And one of my students who I've had a problem with all year, this week has been like a breakthrough for him. And he has shown up every single day to check in with me. And I'm just amazed. And he seems excited about it now. When we first started doing it, it was challenging. But this week he is on fire. So I don't know what happened but he's doing great. So
that's exciting.
This is the start of good things for him. So yeah.
Ms. Warner, do you have any comments about online learning with your favorite teacher?
Who? No, I'm really excited because I really was worried for the kids to be like completely away from us. But since we use a Google, we teach and we get to see them and interact. I'm really enjoying it, and I really the biggest successes is just seeing their work, like once they post things and stuff, just seeing that, even though we can't see them physically, or whatever. Yeah, physically. I like how we can still interact with them, and I like how we're learning so many different things. I just wish I wish we had started going this route before all this happened, because I think that it would have been a really cool thing to see the transitions from like in the classroom with blended learning, and then using like it all online like it is. But I think the only thing that I don't like is the fact that all the kids aren't on there. I mean, that's the only thing, which it is what it is. I know we can't do anything about that, but I think that would probably be the only thing that I'm just like, well, that and not being able to have writing reading at my table. But even with that, we found some ways to do that too. So, I'm optimistic, but I think they're going to be in a pretty good spot for next year. The ones who are actually, working with us. So.
Thank you for sharing, Miss Warner. I think that it's kind of making me like think outside the box as a teacher, and so I feel like it's challenging me a little bit more. And I mean, I have Miss Warner to kind of bounce ideas off of all the time. So like we could have an idea and we're like, let's do this. And what do we think about how this will help the kids and how will it make it easier for the parents and stuff like that. So I really like the fact that it's kind of challenging, but still sustainable. Like even in my household, I have 3 children and I'm trying to do this and this and this, but I'm still able to do it without pulling my hair out or anything. There are days that I feel like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna start drinking early, but that that is something that we're working through, and I feel like it's gonna make me a better teacher in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Ms. Weiss, do you have any successes or that you'd like to share with?
Yeah. So for me, it's been interesting learning. Like I wasn't like a tech teacher. Like I love technology. It's a lot of fun for me, but I'm still learning so much from people coming into my meet and trying to figure out like I can do this. How do I do it? All sorts of new things. So like I've learned how to use Jamboard, which I didn't know existed before all this. I've learned how to use Pear Deck, which is super cool. I've been videos and all these different things. So for me, it's like pushing me even further in my knowledge and also pushing me in terms of how to troubleshoot and fix things for people. So
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, I know it's very convenient to reach out to some people too. Like I have no problem reaching out to Miss Reed if I need her. I just go to her Google Meet and be like, I need help with this. Please help me. And everybody seems to be very available. Not like being at the school sometimes because we're always trying to hunt down people and figure out where everybody is. So I feel like it's kind of easier to, even Miss Phipps, she has her own Google Meet meet with her whenever.
Mm-hmm.
So today's topic was going to be about testing and expectations of what we're to do at the end of the year testing, such as BAS and 4th and 5th grades, expectations of testing. But Miss Weiss has informed me that those are all canceled. So our expectation for end of the year test is there's none. We don't have to worry about BAS. We don't have to worry about the end of the year testing for any of our students. Now, if you are doing unit tests, you're more than welcome to do that. If you're assigning them online, like I know Benchmark, you have the possibility to put online and give it to them. But again, that data is not very accurate because they have a lot of resources outside that may be helping them take those tests. I know with Kinder, I wouldn't be able to base what they know on those tests because a lot of it's going to be parent-driven data. If their parents know, then I would use that.
Siblings.
So,
right? Yeah.
So from there, it's kind of like your own. If you do want to continue giving them those unit tests, you're more than welcome to do that. But there's not going to be an expectation of doing those. Okay.
So just to clarify, we don't have to give any end of unit tests for reading or math or anything.
Well, that data is going to be skewed anyway. Like it's not going to be accurate data because it's giving it home and the environment there is like you can give it, but I wouldn't judge what they know based on that.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because a lot of it, if they're struggling or something, they have that parent there and they may make 100, but not really know that information,
I know. I had exactly that thing happen today with a student. I've been trying to reach out to her to meet with me, and I finally got her. So I was doing some examples with her, and I was like, seeing what I'm seeing this afternoon is not what your online work is showing. They didn't match up at all.
Mm-hmm.
And she did tell me that she was asking her brother for help. So, yeah.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing that they're reaching
Yeah.
out for help and trying to get that.
Yeah.
But to use it as an assessment and to base it on what they're learning, I don't think it's accurate. I mean, if you want to, you're more than welcome. Like if you want, like I know that we submitted our end of the year teen test for math, or not the end of the year test, but our end of the unit test, just to get that information. But we already tested them on that, or like we already taught them in the class mostly that information. So we gave them a
Okay.
test, but again, that test was given at home. So I
Yeah.
can't take that data and be like, oh, they have mastered teen numbers, you know, without.
And would you, so that data, would you put that in the data tracker or not?
I wouldn't, no.
No. So then, sorry, just to, I don't mean to take over, but just
No.
clarify, because we're at the end of a unit, we're at the end of a chapter in math. And so now I'm wondering, is it worth the stress on them to kind of
Assign it.
study up for the test? I mean, I've got kids that could take it and they'll be fine, but I still have kids that are struggling with the skills. And it would probably take them another week to really work to, well, to meet the standard, first of all. But the stress of the test, is that worth putting that on them, or should I just let that go by the wayside?
Honestly, that would be your call because you know your students and how much pressure that would be on them.
Yeah.
So that would be a total your call. If you think that it's not going to overwhelm them, if some of them got it, you can assign it to them. I don't know if you have the ability to assign certain kids and then work with those ones that you know are still struggling.
Yeah, I was
work with
thinking
them without giving that extra stress. And then those people that you know, you can give them the assignment and then move on from there.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's up to you. You know your kids better than any of us.
Yeah.
And it could be just like if you have a routine, it could be just to keep them on the routine too. Like if they're used to taking that test, then keep them doing it so that, because I feel like that routine is very important for them. Even with my own children, routine is vital on a daily basis.
My feeling is it can't hurt. It gives them practice. And I've got some kids on the reading test that, like one student, I know has some help, but you know what? As long as they're not physically saying, okay, this is the answer, A, B, or C, but we don't know that. And I do tell parents, don't give them the answer. If they're coaxing them or helping them think, yeah, but it's practice. And I've got some that are really good readers drop the ball. It's like, what? You didn't even answer the question. I was online with the parents and said, meet up with me. And, there are some students that are doing it on their own, and you can really see where they're learning a skill. Like, you're a second grade reader, but you didn't even answer the question. You didn't even come close to answering the question. So you bring that out, and it's a win-win because practice, if it's going to, but like she said, if you're stressing them, you can stress the fact that, it's more look at it as practice and it's not going to affect your grade, but we need you to do it as most on your own as possible because it gives you practice mainly. And if they know it's not going to affect their grade, that might, the stress. Go ahead, especially your age. Mine.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So, what I was thinking is I agree, like, we can't really tell because I'm like Pam can tell you, like, we're doing a lesson with our kids and we tell them, and then you hear the parent, I don't think they know we hear them, but they're like,
you can see the like this.
We know, like in our age especially, we know that they're being helped by their parents, and it is what it is. They're at home and the parents want them to look good or whatever. But like Deb was saying, if it's a practice, then that wouldn't hurt, like especially if it's not a whole lot more than what you're already doing. But even to take it, what she said was for the ones that have issues and that it's a possibility they may be getting help, maybe discuss that with them, so that you can kind of get their understanding. Because even if they were helped, if they're able to regurgitate what they were told, then it's a good possibility that they have the knowledge you're looking for.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the test, at least they have the knowledge to take with them, hopefully. You know
Right.
what I mean? But I like the idea
Absolutely,
of I like the idea of giving them so they stay in the pattern of it. Because if this is gonna be how it is next year,
Yeah.
then it would keeping them in that routine would be
Yeah.
more beneficial, I think. But I agree, like you really can't use that as a test grade. But like you said, kids. Like for our kids, we've got about 23 kids together. We know the ones who would probably get close to mastery, and we know the ones who are like, come on now, because you've been with them so long, so you know the situation. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
It can also
Great
be a
point.
confidence.
we had
Oh, go
one
ahead.
kid submit a typing assignment, and it was like perfectly worded in space, and I was like, "That's crazy!" Like,
But they get to see it. It's model. Yeah.
I was
But
like,
I mean,
no.
you get a chance to see.
punctuation. We've been working on it for all year, and your spacing on the typewriter is perfect. Come on now.
And your spelling on the typing is perfect. I was like, I don't think so.
Words we haven't even introduced. It's funny. It's very funny.
So one other thought I have is if you're looking at giving a test just to see what they know, look at coming up with an alternate assignment instead. So something where they have to actually apply the math. So for example, I'm guessing volume, if you're kind of around volume, what kind of project could they do where they show you their knowledge of volume in 5th grade for math?
Mhm.
Maybe they have to take a box or an object in their house, measure it, and then give you the volume, give you the measurements, and then tell you the volume of it, or something like that. Just real world application. And if you want, Christina, I'm happy to help make something like that for you if you need it. Just let me know.
Okay. I appreciate it. You're awesome.
And Miss Wise is very available on her Google Meet.
Oh, I know.
Do I need to send the link again?
I've got you on bookmark. Speed dial.
We can't hear you, Miss Fee.
I said she's bookmarked on mine. I got Neva's hotline.
Yeah.
So
But so that's the expectations for right now. Now, that doesn't mean it can't change in the next day or two or the next week or so. But as of right now, everything has been canceled, and expectations are we just get through the end of the year. So, hold on, my door's about to. Okay, my children are here somewhere in this room, in this house. So bear with me if you hear them at my door. The next thing I kind of wanted to talk to you about is, does anybody have any like tips that they want to share with anybody that's been working for you virtually?
Well,
again, I just go back to. No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, just real quick, I just think it's an opportunity for praise. I just look at this as an opportunity to really boost these families. Like, wow, I really appreciate your working with student, and we couldn't do this as homeschool connection. It's a whole new dimension and appreciation that the families are seeing about what it takes. Like I had one mom say, I didn't even know what a journal was. Okay. And then, like she's talking about solar energy because we're talking about science. And so the students talking about solar energy because we're talking about the sun and the moon and heat and the sun and all that stuff. But it brings in another dynamic. And so I just think it's that ripple effect. That's all I was going to say. It's a real opportunity to really wrap these parents in if you can. It's not going to happen with all the families, but it's just a different silver lining to it. Go ahead.
So I was thinking,
Ms. Warner?
Were you going to say, Ms. McGrath?
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So a few things that I've noticed that we've done that's seeming to be pretty effective is, we have like all the links that they have to go to pretty much in the same place, so that they we only had one parent saying that they had so much to do and blah blah blah. And so having the things kind of just more make it easier. Like one of the things we have is, like Dr. Wise had told us, was about using Padlet, and we use that one for our parent portal where the parents can ask questions and they actually use it. And then we have one that's called Awesome Work, where the kids post their journals so we can see them and things like that. And they love that. And occasionally we'll send a little video saying, we're so proud of you. And that work is great, because you can't give feedback on each one. Like you can't you can't like each one. So we kind of periodically would say, oh, we like this, and we'll, do that. But another one is, I know Deb, you're in first, and then Ms. McGrath, you're in fifth, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know it might be going away soon, but Seesaw has stuff from kinder or pre-K to 12, and we have been challenging kids. We're differentiating assignments. We're giving them, and the thing. See, now here's the thing. So, like, we're talking about the assessment. One of our skills is that they have to be able to count to 100 by 1, and there's a number chart, because it's appropriate for them to use a number chart, but they can record themselves, and so we can hear them. So we can tell, for the most part, unless of course the parents are being really, really sneaky, because the volume on it, the mic is great. So you can tell when parents are helping and who's are not, unless of course they're doing sign language or something like that. But so like that one, we can actually say, okay, well, they got that skill because they're actually able to count from 1 to 100 and da da da. There's some of those things, but a lot of them, even since we can't meet with them to do guided reading and word work and stuff, we can't hear each child on the meet. There's some where they sort the words in by chunks, and they can sound the words out. We can hear them, how they sound them out. Even with that, it's still practice because they're kindergarten. But that's something you either know how to sound those words out or you don't. And because it's like it's not like cat, it's not like that. They have to cat. So you have to use those skills. So even though I probably wouldn't use it as like they're ready for first grade assessment, I could still use them as like a formative, okay, well, they're getting that, or that. So, but Seesaw has all kinds. It has art, it has music, it has computer science, it has all kinds of stuff. And I even told one of our assistants, teenagers, look on there, because I might have some stuff for them to use. But that's and the kids love it. They love it. So those are some things I think that really work for us. And then I really just have to say, working with Knox, having like someone, and I know you work by yourself, McGrath, and I know Miss Vatanja, you have Miss Vera, but y'all are two different people. But working, having another person you can split this stuff with, it is so great, because since it's so much and we can't see them, and so everybody's uploading stuff, it's so much easier to be able to, okay, you got that part, okay, then I'll take care of this part. It makes life better. And I know it makes it even better for Knox, because she's got a family. I'm here by myself, so it's easy for me, but I'm sure it takes a load off of her because she's got a family there as well. So I know that's not the case for everybody, but that's one for me. That I'm happy. I appreciate it. So that's it.
I agree with the Miss Warner. Like it really does help to have that co-teacher for sure. And then I also want to say about Seesaw, like as a parent who gets assigned Seesaw assignments for my child, I really do love it. I love the fact that he's able to talk into it. He's able to do stuff independently. Like I don't have to sit and watch what he does all the time. Like if he wants instructions, it will tell him the instructions verbally. So it's a really good source if you want to use it for your upper grades. One tip that I would suggest to teachers is to keep in mind that parents right now, like whatever you're assigning, it's to not overload them. Because right now, being a military spouse as well, I know the pressures of the military community right now. So some people don't even have their spouse and they're teaching their kids for the first time, and they have all this stuff that they're doing, and their spouse is either on a boat or quarantined somewhere. So it makes it very difficult. So just keep in mind, like what you are assigning them is something that's manageable for one parent, not two parents, but at least one parent to be able to do. Any other tips that anybody would like to share?
Sometimes even half a parent, because because if you're a single parent, or you know what I'm saying, or you have multiple children, like one of our families has, I think, 5 or 6 kids. So half a parent too, maybe even a quarter of a parent. Because you know, it's hard out here, like on top of being stuck in the house, so kids can't go outside, they can't release stress. I'm sure families are like, I'm over here by myself freaking out sometimes. So I know, you know, that other that parents like families with kids and stuff that can't get outside, you know, can't, you know, interact and stuff. I'm sure it's hard, you know, I'm sure it is. So yeah.
I guess for my grade level, I'm just trying to find that balance between what is enough and what's too much. Because, you know, at this age, you know, they get bored at home and then they're doing other things that parents don't necessarily want them to do. And, you know, and then I don't want to be assigning them too much where everyone's feeling stressed out. So I'm finding that a real challenge, you know. So, I mean, I'm working on a couple things right now, and now I'm thinking, should I put them up or, and I have such a spectrum of levels in my class. I know some kids have done everything and others haven't. So it's, yeah, that's the challenge at this point. So
I think coming up with optional assignments for the kids who want to go extra and they're done, and then optional assignments letting parents know, like, hey, there are optional assignments. So if your child is done and they're bored, here are things that they can work on to extend their learning, or giving them even like outside extension projects. So taking your science and saying, well, what's an extra project they could do in addition to the lessons we're doing to learn more about the topic, but it's fun, it's hands-on, it's not in front of the computer. And then for a tip in the chat box, I won't take us off topic yet, but I did want to say in the chat box, I dropped the link for the tip I want to talk about after we're done with your conversation. So what do you think about that, Christina? Do you think that might help, or?
yeah, I mean, it's definitely, I think it's a great idea. Yeah, it's definitely worth a try, you know, so.
Have you, I don't know if you get the email, Christina, but the Discovery Education, they have virtual learning for the teachers and stuff. And there's one K-2, 3-5, and then I think 6 to somewhere else. And it lays everything out, gives them links and everything. And what Knox and I have done is we put them on our website at the, you know, at the bottom of our website, but we give them 2 weeks to finish a week. And that way the parents, they feel kind of like better about it because they have 2 weeks to finish that work. It's getting them out, if they can go outside, it's getting them to go outside, you know, talking about money. So it's not necessarily what our standards right now, but it's making it easier on the parents because it's still stuff that they need to learn. They're learning about animals, they're learning about money and things like that. And the kids love it. I think the parents like it too because they give you little stories, little movies, like videos to go with each thing. And then there's like a share out where they can kind of show what they know or whatever. And it seems pretty fun. So that's something you might want to look at. I can see if I can find the email because it was an email that was sent to me. And I gave it to, we gave it to Miss Reed to give it, you know, to give it to our students. But I'll pull it up. And so you can see it because like it's all there and you can pick. They have, I think, 3 weeks there. So we're on the first week. So you don't have, you can put it in whatever order you want it to be. But you know, for us, we just decided to just do it, you know, week 1, week 2, week 3. And so right now we're on week 1, but we put on our website that they have from they have from this date to this date, and then we'll
Oh,
go back. We'll go back to week 2. We'll do that, and then week 3, and then it'll finish out the school year. I'm gonna put this one in the chat too. The one I'm sending is for it's for kinder to second grade, I think. But I think if you get there, you can go to the one that shows the 3 to 5. If I can find that one, I'll send that one too. It's just this is just
Okay.
but yeah, it's I
Sounds great.
haven't been complaining, right, Knox? They've been.
They're loving
Okay.
it. Yeah, they really enjoy it.
So I'll,
Great. Thank That's awesome.
yes, and if I find the link for the actual thing, because I think it was an email. I can't remember. I can't remember.
The Discovery one.
Yeah, did I say it was an email?
Yeah,
I can't.
it's an email and the student.dodia one.
Thank you. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
I'll find it. I don't know if you would have gotten it, but I know I had it because I shared it with her. But I'll send it to you. I'll send you the link and you can look through that.
Okay.
And
Great. Thank you.
I'm muting now.
So in the chat box, I dropped a link to an example Pear Deck. I'm saying lesson because it's not really much of a lesson. I just wanted you to see what was available. If you've ever seen Nearpod, this has a lot of the same capabilities of Nearpod, but it is student-led. So students can go through it and do it. So I set this up to be student-paced, so you can go through and see the lesson. And to go through it, you just click on the little arrows at the bottom, and then it'll ask you to do different things. So I have in there where you can do like multiple choice, where you can draw, where you can put in a response. They also have where you can drag icons. So, and you can kind of pick from a different set of icons. And it's built into Google Slides. So if you use Google Slides for anything, you just add the button in and it lets kids do it. And it even links with Google Classroom, so you can assign it through Google Classroom. Super cool. So this is one of the new tools that I've learned in the last week since working with people. But it's just another way to increase your student engagement in lessons.
I was also going to share with you, Ms. Weiss also forwarded me a virtual learning links for teachers. Right, Ms. Weiss? And this document has so much resources. I was able to look through all of them. I did not look at, I looked at some of them, not all of them, but there is a lot. There's like science ones and multiple ones. And I'm going to send these via email to you all, the links to share. Because in this chat box, like as soon as we get off, this chat box will clear. So it won't be here forever. So I'll definitely send that to you, but I'm going to present it so that you guys can check it out real fast. Sound good? So you can see what I'm talking about? Thumbs up if you understand. Thank you. Okay. Give me a whole minute. So these are all, and it looks like, if Miss Wise, correct me if I'm wrong, these are from different school districts.
Yeah, it depends on the link. So there are ones from Europe East, Europe South, all the Americas digital learning ones, the ones from headquarters. There's just a lot of stuff. So I've been getting different links and things. So I started compiling them for myself and I cleaned it up to share with you guys.
Yeah, and I was looking at one about social studies, and it was very interesting for elementary social studies. If you have any, like you're struggling to find ideas for anything, definitely look at this to see if it'll get your creative juices flowing to help implicate some of the activities in your virtual learning. Okay, so I will send that out to you guys via email, okay? Because I don't want it to go in this box. Sound? Is there anything else you'd like to share with us?
I was gonna say, there's one that I added on there, and I'm gonna take over.
Oh,
Okay. So one of the ones that I came across recently, and I just added it while we were in this meeting. It's called Dodea. It's Walk and Learn. So if you guys can see my screen, right? Okay, yeah. So it has activities. I'm going to hit K2 since we're mostly K2, where it's meant for parents. So parents can use these and do these different activities with their kids while they're going on a walk. So as they're going for a walk, they can do a shape walk. Or they can ask questions or look at plant parts or money, or it's just different non-technology things that parents can do at home for the learning for their kids. So that's one that I found recently that I thought was pretty cool. So they've got like warm-ups, different things they can do. And then all the content ones are specific, like really specific to what you're looking for. And there's all sorts of resources. So if you're trying to figure something out, check them all out. But I thought the Walk and Learn one was cool. That was a new one I found today.
yeah, I would love that for my own kids. Like walking around like an animal. My kids would love that. So much fun. So that's pretty much all I have to share. Do you guys have any questions or anything that I can help you with while you have me on Google Meet? Nobody? I know, Miss.
Holden here. Sorry. So thank you for sharing. I just need more. Part of me just wants to get them off the computer too, because they love the hands-on, the wind vane, Vera. Neva, sorry. So many of my kids had made that, and it was had fun doing it. So I like the hands-on things more because they're on the stinking computer so much. I love it, but I feel very ignorant when I listen to you guys and what you're doing. I'm like, oh my gosh, they're journaling, and I'm hands-on girl anyway. That's just the way I teach. But thank you, and I will look into this website. And the Walk and Learn I already knew about it, and I have it bookmarked. But I am very receptive to more user-friendly sites because more interaction and off the dragon net. But I also like the hands-on things too. They're going online for everything.
I agree. I think that a lot. Go ahead, Ms. Warner.
Oh no, I was gonna say we use the computer, but we tell them to grab the manipulatives to walk through it. We don't sit there for them looking at us. We're beautiful, but I'm sure they don't want to look at us the whole time. So we do. We sent thankfully we sent manipulatives home that day. The day we got out, I was like, take this home, and the ones we were like, come get it, And so thankfully we have a few things that they can use. But I was saying that Walk and Learn. Maybe we could put it on our website. So that it can be there and just tell them, hey, here's another resource. But for Pam and Neva, a question I wanted to ask you was, I know we're doing all this stuff and we're jumping through all these hoops and stuff for this because of Corona and blah, blah, blah. When we go back to regular, is this stuff that's going to be taken away from us where we're not going to be able to use it anymore? Like, will we still?
Miss White.
The only one that is in question right now is Google Classroom. That one's still up in the air. But I read something yesterday that they extended the license through September.
Okay.
I don't know why. Maybe they're worried we're going to continue, but they extended the license through September on that one. But everything else is here to stay because it's been approved. Google Classroom is the only one that is up in the air.
Okay. That's the thing, because I do like some of these, and some of the kids, they just do better. Like, they love their PlayStations and Wii's and all that stuff. And so trying to get them on the computer, it has motivated a lot of them to do. Even one of our ones who is the most strategic of our learners, one of the most strategic, I go into his stuff and he's doing this stuff too. I know he might be getting support from mom, which is great, but it's still, like I said, some things you can't fake. You can't fake sounding out. You either know how to place those sounds together or you don't. And so those things, it, you know, makes us happy, you know, because they're getting that stuff even though they're at home, you know, and stuff like that. So that was one of my biggest concerns. We're doing all this great stuff. And I know we won't do it as much if we go back to school, because I know the parents would be happy about that. But I do think some of it might be great because a lot of it they can do on their own, you know,
Right.
practice and stuff. So.
I was just so
In the links
hesitant.
that-
'cause- Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, in the links that Pam is going to send you later, there is one in here about, oh yeah, Dodea HQ updates for digital resources. You can read that one, and that gives you the most up-to-date information on that kind of stuff. Like that's where I got the information that Google Classroom was extended, was from that specific thing, and that's why I bookmarked it. So it's in there if you want to be up to date with the ETs, because that's the same information they get. Go ahead, Pam.
I was going to say, but you know, Dodea changes all the time. So keep that in mind. Like I love Seesaw and I love some of the activities that we're doing, but don't be dependent on stuff because it does sometimes change a lot.
But even if those
Right?
change, what I'm saying is like, even if those change, and they probably will, because from what I hear is that one's probably possibly going away soon too, which is gonna be horrible because the kids are used to it and they like it, but that's probably why they're putting it away. But anyway, you know, and that's fine. I understand. I know stuff's gonna change, but my question is like, are we going to be able, and I know we can't always do that in the classroom, especially a class that only has 6 computers. You can't technically do this like this, you know, and some of the programs need us to start them and things like that. We had that conversation before too, Dr. Wise, but I'm just wondering as if we're going to be able to still do which I guess we can, but you know, some things, you know, I have these questions because you hear, like, we have meetings with Dr. Wise and we hear stuff from other people. And then, you know, so I that's why I always have these questions, because something that sounds good and I want to do it. I'm for blended learning. I just don't want you to give me I prep all this stuff and I do all this work and then we can't use it. Oh, that's not approved. Oh, that was approved, but now it's not. You know, that type of thing. So I'm just wondering. I know some of the things we can still do. I know things Central's probably not gonna go anywhere. Probably get deeper into Benchmark Advanced, because I think we're going to the assessment, which is online, right? So that I get, but I'm just wondering, like, you know, I don't want it to completely go away, you know? So, yeah.
Yeah, I think we're keeping most of the stuff. I don't think there's very few. You're leaving, Debbie? Okay. I don't think there's many that we're going to lose. Like I said,
right.
If they've gotten to the point where they've approved them, they plan on keeping them. So I think you're good. And then because I have it here on my desk because I'm a total nerd, I have the walkthrough. Indicator 3 is all about technology integration. So if you're using it, you're hitting number 3. So you're good.
Right.
It's encouraged. Keep doing what you're doing.
Well, see, since now there's just the 3 of us, since it's now just us 3, the thing with Seesaw, like I said, it was approved, but then, like I said, hopefully it's a rumor that it's going to be going away. I don't know if you heard anything about it, and I'm praying that it doesn't. But like that's a place that I assume it's free for everybody. But you know what I'm saying? It's got everything. It's got reading, it's got writing, it's got, you know, it's got guided reading in it, Dr. Wise. There are guided reading lessons in it. I'm sure you know that, but I was just like so excited when I saw that because I was like, oh, I can use myself, but now I don't have to. Well, yeah, I have to.
So let me ask the district ET if they know what's going to happen with Seesaw, because we got the thing that Seesaw was approved and they were waiting to add it to the official list until they figured out how they were going to upload students, which is why it's not on the list that's technically approved. Let me ask on that, because I hate when rumors go around and we don't know where the rumor starts. Let me just ask.
Maybe don't ask, because maybe they will forget, and then because if you ask, they might be like, oh no, it's not, and then they take it off, and then we're going to be really sad.
Don't worry.
And I'm
He
like,
doesn't have the authority to do that anyway, so he doesn't get a say in that. So don't worry about it.
But yeah, so
I'll
but
find out.
Okay, that's cool. Okay, but yeah, Miss McGrath, when I find those lessons, I'll send them. Yeah.
Yeah, that would
The
be,
Lake Story? Okay.
that'd be amazing. That'd
Yeah,
be really
they're
great.
really cool. They're really, well, I like them, you know, but I'm a nerd too, so. Yes.
Yeah, that would be great. Anything that I don't have to spend too much time, you know.
Smarter,
Good.
not harder.
Yes. You know,
That's how-
but my kids are at home too, and I feel like I'm
Yeah.
time. They don't have as much work, so they're not as occupied in the evening. So I need to be free for them as well.
Yeah. Yeah. You
Yeah.
shouldn't be doing this after our work time. We do, but we shouldn't be.
I
You
know.
Yeah.
But
So, but I appreciate all the tips. That's awesome.
I will say this is what Mr. Lefebvre told his staff. I don't think Ms. Phipps will say the same thing, but I'm going to say it to you. He basically said if you are moving your hours to be working in the afternoon, then take some time off in the middle of the day. You work your assigned duty hours. So the way he told his staff was, if you take 2 hours and go to the commissary in the middle of the day because there's less people, then just work 2 hours in the afternoon past your normal duty day. I was like, oh, all right. So
if you take a 4-hour nap, then you have to wake up and do that 4 hours. Got it. I can do that.
Yeah, sometimes it's a little rough. Like I'm like, oh, after lunch especially, I'm like, oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
It's pretty exhausting being online with them.
it is, right? It's more
I don't know
tiring.
quite why, but it is.
It seems more
So-
tiring now than being in the school from 7:45 to 2:30 with them.
Yeah.
But I think it's because of the computer. Like if
Yeah.
and that's research, right. That's research. So it's being on there that long.
Yeah, it's really draining.
Mhm.
Plus, I'm not used to sitting this long. I'm just like, oh, my bum's numb already. Thank you. I need to get up and walk around.
I didn't
So-
I didn't take a snack. I didn't take a nap today, so I'm proud of myself. I didn't take one.
Good job.
I've been taking them during my lunch. I set an alarm so I make sure I only take my lunch time, and then I take a little mini nap. It's helped.
See, I wish I was disciplined enough to do that. That only works if I put my Apple Watch and my phone in another room. Then I'll have to get up to turn it off because it's annoying. Because if it's here, I'm like snooze, 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 snooze. It's bad. Right? it's so bad. But yeah,
But I think that everybody's doing a really good job, like jumping into this. I mean, we got like a day's notice and
Yeah.
had to do all this stuff, and I feel like we're rocking and rolling it. We're doing a great job. I haven't
Definitely.
heard anybody like drowning in anything. Everything has been pretty positive, right?
Well,
I
we
agree. I think you guys are killing it.
today.
What'd you say, Miss?
There was one comment in the daily bulletin today. Did you see that?
No.
Was that 5th grade? Do you know if that was about 5th grade?
Oh, I don't know. I have to read it. Did the Daily Bulletin get sent out today?
She sent it like an hour ago. That's why you probably missed it. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It was late today.
Well, if you guys have any other questions, you guys are free to go. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you,
Thanks very
ladies.
much. Good seeing you guys.
Tomorrow.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
This was
Bye.
great. This
Bye.
was
Thank you
great.
for coming.
We're planning tomorrow, right?
Yeah. Let me stop the camera.
Oh,
It is 4/23 April 23rd, 2020, 3:22 p.m.